Welcome to the only sales podcast you ever need to listen to. I am your host, Benjamin the Great. If you're not dominating the market, then you are not part of it. This is the APGH Sales Strategy podcast where complacency dies and warriors are forged. Tune in and get inspired. Or rise, sales warriors. This is where we separate amateurs from assassins. In this segment, I'm breaking down how most salespeople fumble the pitch, fold under pressure, or beg for the sale. And then I'll show you what happens when you step in with precision, posture, and the APGH sales strategy. Because in sales, your words are your weapons. Use the wrong ones, you lose the deal. Use the APGH sales strategy. You lead, you guide, and you close with confidence. So let's dive in. Hi, Ziandra. I trust you are well. I promise this won't be a waste of your time. Unless it is, I'm calling you from BTG.
Okay. Firstly, nithetha nabani, and why you sound like unsure when I call her and ndifuna ukuyitsho.
Ish, I'm sorry, my sister. What I meant is that I think you'll find this helpful and igama lami mina kahle kahle uBenjamin.
I see. Honestly, busy sana. Please go check your approach boss yakho. You ayitsho mi abantu abathanda ukuthengisa lo akazange abuthengisa ntoni. You are uzandimoshela ixesha.
There you have it, guys. This is another example of why your sales open is so important. If you say the wrong things in the beginning, you end up spending the entire call explaining yourself instead of doing what matters, identifying the prospect's problem and offering a solution. And by the time you think you've cleared the air and now you can sell, guess what? You've already wasted precious time, and chances are the prospect is looking for a way off the phone. So now you've wasted both your time and theirs. And I don't care what industry you're in, time is something you can't afford to waste. If you are going to fail, fail fast. That doesn't mean giving up on the prospect. It means acknowledging when you've made a mistake and reframing the conversation. In fact, in the APGH sales strategy, A doesn't just stand for acknowledging objections, it also means acknowledging your own mistakes. That's what sets apart the APG sales strategy from any other sales framework. It's not just a sales script, it's a guideline, a framework that you can use to navigate around objections. We all make mistakes. Sometimes we jump into calls without being fully present, without thinking through what needs to be said. But let me tell you something. The first 10 seconds of a call can make or break a deal. People say first impressions last for a reason. It's not a joke, guys. So take your opening pitch serious. Let's not forget about one major flaw about that opening pitch, the promise. Don't make promises, especially to someone who doesn't even know you. Prospects don't believe in promises made by strangers. Making one too soon frames you just as another typical salesperson, whereas a sales warrior doesn't promise, they deliver. It's about results. It's about earning the benefit of the doubt enough to keep the conversation moving forward. Hi, Zianda. You're speaking with Benjamin from BTG. Thanks for taking my call. I know you're busy, so I'll be brief. I just wanted to share something that could be relevant to you. If it's not useful, you're welcome to stop me. Sounds fair?
Hi, Benjamin. If you are selling something, please stop yourself. Busy nyana mna. Wase ngikubofonela lelinye igeza apha lingazazi uba lifuna ntoni.
I'm sorry to hear that, but like I said, this is just an exchange of insight. Did you know that over 80% of sales are lost not because of price, but because the salesperson didn't uncover the real problem? Now, how is this relevant to you? I help SMEs in your industry improve sales performance by getting to the root of those missed opportunities. So let me ask, what would you say is your biggest sales challenge right now?
Iyathetha ke ngoku. Ingxaki ndiku-maternity leave and nayo ikhathwe short ngenxa yokuba istaff sam asiphefomhi tu. So can we reschedule the call for tomorrow around 10 a.m. since Nzone is planning?
There you have it, guys. Just like I mentioned before, if you are going to fail fast by acknowledging the objection and your own mistake. That's the only way to earn the right to reframe the conversation and steer it in a better direction. In simple terms, you can't change the direction of the conversation if you don't first admit where it's going. Ignoring it or pretending everything is fine only pushes the prospect further away. For example, let's say you open the call with a generic pitch and the prospect immediately responds, "Listen, if this is a sales pitch, I'm not interested." Instead of defending yourself or scrambling, you must say, "You're right. I started off on the wrong foot and that's on me. So let's reset. I'm not here to pitch you something irrelevant. I work with businesses like yours that are facing XYZ challenge, and my only goal is to see if that's something you're dealing with too. If not, I'll back off. Sounds good?" There you go, right? Just like that, you've acknowledged the objection, owned your mistake, and reframed the call with clarity and respect. That's how a sales warrior regains control, without force, but with honesty and skill. This brings me to my last point, doing a pattern interrupt. By saying, "Did you know that over 80% of sales are lost not because of price, but because salespeople didn't uncover the real problem?" You disrupt the brain, because the brain expects a pitch but gets insight. And that's how you maintain control of the conversation, because any sales conversation, there's always a gap between what the prospect knows and what you know, and you must close that gap by saying things that are relevant to the prospect and not what you want to hear or what you think sounds good when you say it.